Game of Thrones is an HBO production based on novels of George R.R. Martin. It has received critical acclaim and won many awards. Audiences have grown from 2.5 million to 18.6 million, and our next speaker appeared in an episode of the most recent series. So how did he get there?
If that dies, can you use this? Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Try that again. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hi there. My name is Winston, and I actually was sat right there a good few years ago when I was a student at school. And when I was a student at school, I had a dream and I had a passion of what I used to enjoy doing. And as has been introduced, I used to love acting. But somewhere along the way, that dream, I lost sight of it. And I stopped caring about the things that I should have been caring about. I stopped caring about what time I got to school, what my teacher said to me. I stopped caring about what results I got in my exams. And I started caring about whether I could afford a pair of trainers, night trainers, or a mobile phone. And when I was at school, if you had a mobile phone, you was doing really well. So I wanted to be like this big man with my phone. But the problem was I lost sight of my dream. And I'm here today to talk to you about your dreams. Does anyone know about football in here? Yeah? Anyone know Wayne Rooney? Yeah, a few of you? Okay, well, Wayne Rooney is one of the greatest footballers that we've had in this generation. He's the captain of Manchester United Football Club. He's the captain of England. But Wayne Rooney, he didn't just wake up one day and go, right, I'm going to go and play for Manchester United and get in his car and drive to Old Trafford and say, can I play? Wayne Rooney started playing football when he was much younger than a lot of you. And he worked really, really hard. But before he could become a footballer, there was something that he needed to do. Before he could do anything. And the very, very first thing that he needed to do is that he needed to dream. And he needed to visualise and see himself being this footballer walking in front of 75,000 people at Old Trafford. Then once he's dreamt about playing for Manchester United, or was actually Everton he first started playing for, he then practiced and he took action and he practiced and he got better and better. And after he had got much, much better and developed over a long period of time, probably about 10 years, he then at the age of 16 walked out and played for Everton for the first time. So you can see how important it is that you've got to have these dreams and you've got to be able to see yourself doing it. I mean, Wayne Rooney, he actually rings up his kit man the night before a game and says, what colour kit are we wearing tomorrow? And then the kit man will tell him, if he says, oh, we're wearing a red top and we're wearing white shorts and red socks, and he will go home and he will imagine himself wearing that kit, scoring goals and doing really good things. So that's how important it is to Wayne Rooney in terms of his visualisation. So the question that I'll ask you guys today is, what dreams do you have? What do you want to be in 5, 10 years' time? Because he's only going to be in school for a very short period of time, and after that, it's up to you to decide what you want to be. So you have to say, what is your dream? And don't care about what anybody else says, whether or not you're good enough, or whether you're too smart, or you're not smart enough, or you're too tall, or you're too short. It's your dream. You can protect your dream and go after your own dream. After I lost sight of my dream, within a few years, I actually ended up homeless. I had no money. I had no future. But it's because of decisions that I made that ended up in me to find myself in that position. But the good thing is, when you've got to the point where you don't have anything, or you make mistakes, and you will fail because it's part of life, as Miss Berry said earlier, failure is part of success. So you have to understand that once you fail, you then can start looking about what can you do, and you've got that choice. You can say to yourself, do I throw the towel in, or do I keep on going? And then you can say to yourself, like, can I pick myself up, can I go again? You know, Wayne Rooney, if he lost a football match and said, I'm just going to chuck the towel in, I'm not going to bother again, he wouldn't have a very good career. You know, so you have to keep motivating yourself to want to go on, And when I found myself in a situation whereby I was homeless, I had no money, I made a decision to myself to say, right, what am I going to do? And I decided that I was going to change my life, and I was going to make a positive impact on my life, and I was going to make a success of myself. So the first thing I did is I contacted my dad, who had a very long relationship with, a good relationship with, and he allowed me to stay at his house, and I got a job, and I was working as an apprentice plumber. And I first started, I got zero money. I didn't get any money to work. And I was given all the jobs that nobody else wanted to do. So I was told to, Winston, please go and clean up that mess over there. Winston, go and pick up those baths and move them over there. And any job that no one else wanted to do, I had to do. So I did all these jobs, and I put my head down, and I didn't say anything to anyone. And I just got on with it. And one day, we was cleaning out these tanks, and it was like these old rusty tanks, and it was full of metal and gunk, and there was rats droppings in it. And my job basically was to pass down, whilst I hoovered out the tank, and they had it in this big bucket, my job was to take this bucket of sludge down from this loft, take it down the stairs, and take it out of this house and empty it. And this day, as I was getting passed down this bucket of sludge, I was on my tiptoes, and all of a sudden, the catches went. And this bottle of sludge fell all over my face, and I had this rat's droppings and rusty water all over me. I was coughing, spluttering, I was feeling to be sick. Now, the guy that I was working with said to me, Winston, look, do you know what? You can go home. You don't have to stay here. And I said, do you know what? No, I'm not. I'm going to stay here. So I went to the bathroom and I washed all of this mess off my face. Luckily, I had a spare t-shirt, so I changed my top. And I stayed. And I did my day's work, and then I went home. But the reason why I tell you that story is because sometimes you've got to go through bad experiences in life to get good experiences. Sometimes you've got to keep on going where you don't feel like going on. Sometimes you've got to keep trying where you don't feel like trying. And now 6 years after I found myself homeless and thinking I didn't have a future, I've managed to change my life, and now I'm in a position where I actually own my own plumbing and heating company, and I actually employ some of the guys that used to laugh at me and make jokes at me when I was cleaning up rubbish. And I've got married, and I have 3 children. But I've also now been fortunate enough to be given time to go back after my own dream. And as you've seen, my dream was to be an actor and to be on TV. And I worked really hard. As soon as I said, right, I'm going to become an actor, I started taking classes, and I worked really, really hard. And after about a year of taking these classes, I got a call to say I got an audition for the Game of Thrones. And I went to this audition. A week after the audition, they rang me and said, you've got the part. 2 days later, I was flown to a country called Croatia to film this episode. Now, I was stood in Croatia in 30 degrees heat, and I was surrounded by famous actors, directors, there was camera crew filming us, and I couldn't believe it that in 6 years I'd gone from being homeless to now being on a film set. And it just, like for me, it was one of the best experiences of my life, and it was at that point where I made my dream a reality. So I just want to leave you with this. I genuinely believe that all of us, each and every one of you guys sitting here today, everyone in this world, we've got our own special gift and talent that we can give to the world. But the fact that the task is for you guys to work out what is your gift or talent, and what is your dream that you're going to go out and pursue. What do you want to go out and achieve? And then once you've got there, you've got to then say to yourself, am I willing to work hard to go and make that dream a reality? Am I willing to keep on going when I feel like stopping? Am I willing to do what's necessary to conquer all obstacles and make my dreams a reality? But no one can do that for you. Not your teachers, not your parents. No one can do it for you, only you as individuals. But I believe that you can do it. So, on that note, I wish you all the very best, and I'm sure that you're all going to make successes of yourselves. Thank you.